when tomorrow never comes. Do you understand the meaning of this phrase? I can today, in the very least, assist you with this conundrum. Because in the passage of time, this phrase, like many others, has been misused, leading to misinterpretation, and in most situations, leading to anxiety and fear. Throughout this message, I can offer those sufficiently sensitive the feeling of having the Jeanne d'Arc frequency reside within them. I have transcended my energy into this message, and I advise that you sit back in your chair, close your eyes, and listen, preferably with headphones and without disturbance. Reading the message gently in a soft voice to yourself would have a similar effect. At the very end of my existence in the body known as Jeanne d'Arc, there were many days under heavy duress and much stress that I thought tomorrow may never come. This rationale existed only because I was not living in the present moment, the very essence of life, always a fleeting moment, but always forever present. The forever present moment has no past or future. Therefore, no yesterday or tomorrow is available in the present moment. In those deeply distressing days of the court hearings, public sermons, threats of torture, rape, and verbal abuse, not only did I step out of the present moment, I stepped out of love. For love has no business with consequence. It was only when I stepped back into love and the present moment, the fear of torture, rape, and my pending execution ceased to exist. It was also when I was in my strongest and finest frame of mind. Generally, I lived my life to the fullest extent, especially from the year 1428 at the start of my godly campaign. I was satisfied with the results of my life purpose. I believed that despite some wavering under enormous pressure, I had completed the work that the divine had tasked me with. On that faithful day of May 30th, in Rouen, 1431, 8 a.m. in the morning, on balance, I did not fear my pending death. My fear was focused on the pain of burning. I remember feeling how unceremoniously I was displayed through the streets of Rouen to the funeral pyre as a heretic, a witch, a whore, and God only knows what else some of the English soldiers were thinking. This, as you may well imagine, was so traumatic for myself and for my family. You may think that my murder was extremely painful. It was not, actually. I was long released from the body before the flames kissed my feet. My cries of fear and pain that were heard were from a soulless body, an empty vessel. Consciousness was not aligned with the body. Consciousness was with the soul. The brain has much information stored within and lives on for a short while when the soul leaves the body. It gathers information throughout the term of the body's lifespan and responds how best it should under any given set of circumstances. In fact, at the exact time of my execution, I can say without fear of contradiction that these cries of pain that were heard was merely the brain cleverly choosing the correct response for the circumstance at hand. We can say that the body itself responded to the brain's instruction to exhibit the action of pain, even though the body was an empty, lifeless vessel, and as such was unable to feel anything, much less pain. Science would interpret this process differently. When you live your life in the present moment, there is no tomorrow. Tomorrow cannot live here in the here and now, because your attention is in the moment, both physically and emotionally. Tomorrow can never come to you. And when it is your time to go home, if in the present moment, at your time of calling, you would not experience the fear of dying, because just as with my then experience, the body would have become an empty vessel, you, like me, will already be home safely. But time on the earth plane is finite, and one life is all you have, well, at least in your current body. And so now I make my point and ask you, are you living your life outside of love, outside of the present moment, allowing the uncertainty of a tomorrow to command and rule your very existence? Fearing to lift your head above the muddy waters? Refusing to be authentic, and by doing so, when your term on the earth plane is about to expire, can you say with all honesty, I did my best. I did all I could. I helped the people. I loved. I cried. And I laughed to the fullest extent. And furthermore, I lived and worked fearlessly and tirelessly in achieving my own goals. Or will you say, I wish I had at least tried. I could have done more. That said, my brothers and sisters, is not a welcoming feeling to have so close to transition. I was in my short life beating the drum of foi, espérance, et charité. I am still beating that same drum to the same tune as more and more people join in our mantra. Come, beat this drum with me. Beat it so hard that it reverberates into the furthest and darkest corners of the universe, sending light and love to almost forgotten places. With my vibration, you will never have to worry about tomorrow, because you are always present, and therefore tomorrow simply cannot exist. It will never come. There is no tomorrow where I am, and if always present on Mother Earth, there is no tomorrow for you also. In other words, as above, so below. Feel my presence when you need courage. Feel my presence when faced with adversity. Feel my presence when you need to do right. Feel my presence when you cannot go on. I am with you. You are with me. And then we are one. People then ask you, who is this Jeanne d'Arc that you speak of? You can answer them with surety. Me, I am Jeanne d'Arc. Courage, do not fall back. Jeanne,